Welcome to Buena High School, home of the Bulldogs, for a Pacific View League game. Kent Brown and Joe Curley here on the call. Welcome to the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. And Joe, this is a rivalry game. The stands are packed, black and gold on one side. Our side, you have the black and blue. And for Buena, this is a game that they really want to win, not just because they're 2-0 in league play and can punch their ticket and move up in the standings in the league play, but also this is a game they've struggled over the years, whether they've been the top team, the bottom team, it doesn't matter. Ventura's had their number.
Yeah, lately Ventura's surprised in this game. I mean, there was a long time where Ventura, had an excellent team, and they, they dominated this game. They've won 13 of the last 14 games since in this series since 04. But really, the last couple years, Buena has won. I looked through it the other day, and I couldn't believe it. Buena has won the game before the Ventura game the last 11 years, and Ventura's won the last eight games in this series. And it really, there was the game a couple years ago at Ventura where the game ended on an untimed down. Buena thought they had won. There was a penalty, and Ventura pulled it out with literally no time left. Last year was a great game, big surprise. And again, the funny thing, everyone talks about the 99 game where it was 8-0 Ventura against 7-1 Buena for the Channel League Championship, and and how you couldn't get into Larrabee that night, and how ridiculous an occasion it was. But I think the power of this rivalry is shown on a night like this, where Ventura's winless for the first time in this rivalry since '94, when it was the fourth week of the season. Buena, they're on a 3-game winning streak, but they were right where Ventura was in the first half of the season. Both teams started 0-4. You got, they're 3 and whatever combined, and what is it, 3-11 combined. And this is still the biggest game of the weekend. Camarillo and Moore Park about to play a huge game in the Coastal Canyon League, but this is where the eyes of Ventura County is. This is one of the biggest rivalries in Ventura County, certainly on the west side, and that's why we're here. Unbelievable. I went to Ventura's practice the other day, an 0-7 team practicing like they were getting ready for a playoff game. I'm sure Lauren Ledeen, who was at the Buena practice earlier this week, would tell you the same thing about Buena. So, and the good thing, I think their teams are evenly matched. I think, we're set for a good game, and really it's the type of game that makes or breaks a season for both of these teams, whether, it's the 99 game where there's one loss between them, or whether it's this year with 3 wins between them.
And this is a game, you mentioned it's almost a playoff field for Ventura. They want to be the spoiler. They want this game to be a win and have this home crowd in Buena see the Cougars celebrate on their field for the first time this season with a W. It should be an exciting game. It will be the Ventura Cougars receiving the kick. And back deep, it's Conboy and Rodriguez. It's a short kick at the 30, taken up by Rodriguez. Rodriguez up past the 45 to the 48-yard line. Great field position for the Ventura offense, and they are led by the junior Carson Willis. And for this Ventura team, Conboy's a guy who will get a lot of touches. Wynell, Rodriguez, Garza, the wideouts. But they need to hold up that line of scrimmage, and the offensive line needs to rise to the occasion tonight against Buena.
Yeah, and they've had a really rough go of it. They've had 4 guys go in and out of the lineup, really banged up front, and that's where they in Buena's up front, that's their strength. So if Ventura could just earn a draw up front, it'll give them a real good chance to win the game.
Man in motion is Rodriguez. The handoff goes Rodriguez's way, up past the 50 to the opposing 48-yard line. A pickup of 5 on first down.
Rodriguez, interesting. They kicked the ball short. Ventura's one touchdown against Pacifica was a Rodriguez return for a touchdown last week, and here he gets, it's a junior that's starting to make plays for them, starting to kind of, get going, and they haven't scored a ton of points, but he's been one of the guys that's been in the mix for them.
They need a big performance tonight from the junior wideout, and when you're near midfield already after one play, that is a good spot to be in for Carson Willis in this offense. Willis going from the gun, lone back is Conboy. Man in motion is Jaden Klein. And will throw a quick pass over to Wynell. Wynell near the first down markers, appears to be about a yard short. Now they're going to mark him off at the 45. It is a short gain of about 2 yards, maybe 3, and will be 3rd and 2.
Well, big spot here already for Ventura. And the thing about it is, Carson Willis, you look at him, he's a big, athletic, strong kid. He was thrown into it in the last season under some controversial times when their quarterback was suspended, and he got called up, and he had got to play a playoff game, and somebody who really if it all comes together could be one of the better quarterbacks in Ventura County.
On 3rd and 2, it's a pitch to Conboy. Conboy getting around the corner, has the first down, out of bounds inside the Buena 40, and on that one it was Conboy showing the ability to put that second burst, get to the outside, beat the defense, and pick up the first down. And if you're watching this, you notice the green socks for the Buena Bulldogs. They are doing this for cancer awareness, Stand Up to Cancer, wearing the green socks tonight in unison here for the Buena Bulldogs. Ventura in their normal black and gold with white.
I mean, we're just happy Ventura today is wearing contrasting numbers to uniforms and not that old white on white stuff we had last year.
On first down, the handoff goes to the fullback. Up the middle for about 3 yards. And when you're inside the 40-yard line, that's not a bad first down play. Try to see if you can get the inside rush going, and it will be 2nd and 7.
So the interesting thing about preparing for this game from Buena's perspective is that the last month, this has not been the Ventura team that's been on the field. They've had, huge injuries up front. Conboy hasn't been playing. They were a couple games without their top 2 corners, so it's probably tough to get a good read on them from a film-wise.
Willis rolling to his right. Wide open is Klein. Klein inside the 25 for another first down. And Jaden Klein, the junior H-back, not a ton of receptions on the season, but he's done a good job here today getting open on 2nd down, moving the chains, and now nearing the red zone are the Ventura Cougars.
Yeah, one thing that Ventura has is they do have a couple guys like Klein that are really good two-way players, outside linebacker / H-back. I talked to him after the game or after the practice the other day, and he's somebody who has been looking forward to playing this game with his classmates. He was up on varsity as a sophomore last year and was playing with older kids. 1st
and 10, they're going to go handoff to the left side, power formation, and a good gain by T.J. Barlow on first down, gets all the way up to the 18-yard line, a 6-yard pickup, and 2nd and short awaits the Cougars. And between Barlow and Conboy, those are 2 backs they really believe in, and there's no reason not to. I think today, we mentioned, you have to win the line of scrimmage if you are Ventura, and this offensive line has done great here in the early stages of this first quarter.
We'll get the Bulldog right here. Is he going to come on the broadcast with us?
Yeah, he's about 3 stairs away from us. On 2nd and short, the handoff goes to Barlow. Nearing the 15-yard line, it will be 3rd and 1. Another inside handoff. And for Carson Willis, this is exactly the spot you want to be in. 3rd and short. You can potentially play action here, look maybe deep, or if you keep running the football, you only need about a yard to get the first down.
We're going to look it up. I think Barlow was the kid whose interception determined this game last year as an underclassman.
3 wide. H-back is Klein. Barlow remains the tailback. The handoff goes to Barlow. He is up to the 13-yard line. Needed about a yard and a half. Picked up 2, and it's another first down for Ventura. They might look to measure. Nope, they're going to say he got enough of it. First down, Cougars, as this is a great opening possession, and if you're Coach Garcia, you're 0-7, you're 0-2 in league play. This is your rivalry game, and so far, it's been a very efficient drive.
You got to give credit to Coach Garcia how he scripted. They're winning this off the script here. This is the opening possession, and they've got it in a good spot.
Same formation. This time Klein moves to his left in motion. They will run behind Klein. Barlow again up to about the 11-yard line, and he just went right behind the fullback, allowed Klein to get that lead block, picked up about 2 yards, and it will be 2nd and 8. You are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Kent Brown and Joe Curley here on the call from Buena High School. Pacific View League game, Buena undefeated in league play on a winning streak, and Ventura searching for their first win of the season. Carson Willis looks over at his sideline. The junior signal caller.
they've taken almost half the first quarter off the clock already.
3 wide. Now they will send a man in motion. It was Garza, and now a timeout called from the Ventura Cougars. And with that, we do want to remind you tonight's broadcast is a product of the Ventura County Star, your local leader in high school sports for the Ventura County area. To support this broadcast and all of the year-round sports coverage by the sports team at the Star, sign up for a print or digital subscription to the Ventura County Star. Visit subscribe.vcstar.com to see all of our special offers. Also, Ventura Orthopedics is proud to support the collegiate and high school athletic teams in the community. The doctors serve as team physicians for most of the high school and college sports programs in the area. Whether assisting with game injuries or cheering for players from the sidelines, the doctors at Ventura Orthopedics consider it a privilege to be part of the team. The band is right near us. The student section is near us. We have the Bulldog that was just up, as you said, just almost probably asking us in some ways, hey, if you guys want to put me on the broadcast, I'll join for a little bit. So we are on the Buena Bulldog side, and it has been a great opening possession for the Ventura Cougars. Nearing the midway mark of the first quarter, it is 2nd down and 7. Ball's officially on the 10. A tight formation. The only receiver is Rodriguez to the short side. It will be Willis moving to his right. Incomplete. Nobody was open. That was really good coverage. That time, not a lot of pressure. They dropped 8, and I thought the secondary did a heck of a job there as no receiver was open.
There's not a lot there, but Willis is kind of drifting and making the play tougher than it needs to be. And I think he just kind of waited too long. It was probably just because it was covered and he throws it away and you live to play another day. But this is a big, you don't want to drive the field and then have to kick a field goal. Although they do have a good, Royce Riemann is one of the better field goal kickers in Ventura County. So
it will be 3rd and 7. Three wide again. Conboy is the tailback. Klein, the lead blocker. Klein shifts to his left. From the gun, it's a bad snap. Goes over to the right shoulder of Willis, and then he's sacked at the 21-yard line for a big loss. It wasn't over his head, but it was high at the shoulder. Unable to corral it was Willis, and then he gets sacked back for a big loss. That ends up being a 14-yard loss, and it will now be a 38-yard attempt for the kicker, Rourke Riemann.
Yeah, that looks like an 0-17. They come down, they drive down, they look great, and then things just kind of blow up when it matters. And
yeah, there was not one negative play until that one. They didn't have any penalties, all positive gains. 38-yard attempt by Riemann. Snap back, hold is down, and the kick is up, and it is through. A 38-yarder is good. Riemann gives the Ventura Cougars a 3-0 lead. As you said, there's some points on the board, but the big 14-yard loss is definitely something Buena can build off of as they'll get the ball.
One thing is that, they get the points, they get a little confidence, they show that they can drive the ball a little bit. And you've just basically taken more than half the first quarter off the, you shorten the game a little bit. And so we talked a little bit about Zach Rodriguez. I think we've got to mention Devin Morris. Devin Morris had a kickoff return for a touchdown last week against Rio. Absolutely huge win for Buena last week against Rio. Kind of the way the PVL looked this year in the preseason was you had Oxnard and Pacifica at the top. And we should probably point out, it's weird talking about the PVL in the context of Ventura and Buena, where Ventura would win this game and they chant CLC, which is Channel League champs, and it was always one of the jewels of the of the Channel League season. And so this is the first season with the new history with the Oxnard teams. And
it's going to be a short kick by Riemann
at
Morris.
The
35. They're getting it away from Morris. It will be returned all the way back at about the 30, now up to the original 35-yard line. Only a 3-yard gain after all that running. But as you said, Joe, they want to keep it away from the track speedster, Devin Morris, and it will be 1st down for Buena. Yeah, in the Pacific View League right now, when you just look at the league standings, Oxnard and Buena sit atop at 2-0, Pacifica and Rio Mesa 1-1, and at the bottom, Ventura and Channel Islands 0-2.
To finish that thought, you had Ventura, Buena, and Rio and Channel Islands kind of fighting for one playoff spot, and that's what Buena has done by beating Rio last week is to kind of grab that advantage. And now you win today, really you're looking like a playoff team.
Yeah, you're sitting pretty at 3-0 in the league. On first down, there was a penalty flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. Now the officials will go over what the exact penalty is. Buena looks to be backing itself up already, and that will be holding on the offense, so a 10-yard penalty, and instead of it being at the 38, it's backed all the way to the 28, and that's one thing Ventura did do a good job of on their first possession, Joe. Outside of the errant snap and then the sack, they had a clean football, no penalties, no negative yards plays. On first down, Buena's already backed itself up.
Yeah, making it tougher than it needs to be.
There'll be a pitch, and this goes over to Powell Mathis. Powell Mathis doing his best attempt to get past to the original line of scrimmage, gets up to the 34, and it will be second and long. Owen Medina, the sophomore quarterback for Buena, and he is a guy that Coach Ryan Boland is very high on this week, at a lot of praise for his sophomore signal caller, and then his backs. Powell Mathis and Aguilar he loves. And the offensive line is really a key to this team with Tafoya, Faulkner, Avila, Vega, and Marino. There's a lot of big bodies on that offensive line, and they want to run behind those guys all night long. Second and 14 after the 7-yard gain. It's going to be handed off on the sweep. Now it will be all the way up to the 45-yard line. Devin Morris, he gets a good gain, and they get it in the hands of the speedster, and he makes a play, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, when I came out in preseason and saw these teams, I thought, the thing at Ventura that stood out was they had a quarterback, they had Willis. The thing that stood out at Buena was they had those seniors on the line, and guys that went both ways that really could dominate in these type of games. And so that's where I look. Buena's going to win tonight. They're going to win it in the trenches with those seniors.
4 seniors starting on that offensive line. On 3rd and 3, that time it was a good push by the defense for Ventura. Liam Musell coming up and making the play. And then also in for the Ventura defense was Nick Lansky, the middle linebacker. Changed his number from 54 to 46 recently. So Lansky coming up from the linebacker position. And now when it's 4th and 2, send in the punter, Robert Aguilar. And Ventura appears to be holding unless there's some trickery coming up, and that's a huge stop on 3rd and 3. The line really won that battle on 3rd down for Ventura.
Good job bringing up Lansky, whose older brother was, we're talking about kickers in this.
On 4th and 2, it does look like Aguilar will take off. He has it down the sideline, inside the 45. Now there is a penalty flag thrown at the end, add 15 yards. And that is a huge decision. Play. It looked like they gave Aguilar the option. If you see something, take off. If you don't, punt. He saw the seam down the sideline, took off, got the yardage, and then was hit out of bounds for 15 extra yards. Wow. So this is going to end up being a huge gain and will put the Buena Bulldogs inside the 30-yard line.
Probably about the 25. That run went down.
To about
the flag, the 40 almost?
43, so it looks like it'll be at the 28 is where they will mark this off.
So that's a 11-yard run.
Also, we do want to let you know that we will have a special guest coming in for the second quarter, color commentating. Billy Griffin, the former Ventura High School 2000 CIF champ, former Florida Gator. He will be joining us. And also, if you're watching on Facebook Live, make sure at the end of the first to switch exclusively to vcstar.com. On 1st and 10, it's a short gain, only 1 yard. And it was the defensive line coming up and making plays again for the Cougars, and coming up and cleaning it up was Nick Carrera, the defensive end. They will rotate a lot of guys at the defensive end position, and Carrera came up with a good stop, and it's going to be 2nd and 9.
They're doing a nice job up front so far. Speaking of guys up front, Billy Griffin, the keystone of that offensive line, Tyler Ebel, national record. We wanted to get Ebel tonight, but when we learned that Griffin was available, we told Tyler to stay home.
Yeah, to stay home, we already have somebody, and we have one of the blockers, less heralded players that can come up and talk to us. On 2nd and 9, it was incomplete as Medina was intending for his target towards the sideline, and it was just wide of his intended target. That time it was Terry Johnson. Medina over near the sideline. There's a flag on the field.
Griffin's a good fit for this game because not only did he play in it for Ventura, but his brother John Griffin is the offensive line coach for Buena. So he's got a little family connection on the other side of town. John obviously played at Ventura as well.
It's going to be 2 different penalties. They gave a sideline interference on one end, and then there was a holding on the offense, so they just cancel each other out. It will be 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're going to walk
again.
off both, maybe. Maybe he'll come back now.
It looks like it.
There's a warning. Sideline warning.
Sideline warning. So, therefore, the 10 yards is tacked off from the Buena Bulldogs, and it will be 2nd and 19. All the way back at the 41. They have to get up to the 18. So, actually, it's going to be 2nd and 23.
The chain game.
Look at Ventura's crowd on the other end with their cell phone lights flickering. Medina hands it off this time, and it's going to be Devin Morris with a short gain up to the 36-yard line. 3rd and 18 for the Buena Bulldogs. 2:10 remaining in the first quarter. Our guest has made his way over here and will join us at the end of the quarter and do color commentating for the second quarter. 3rd and 18. 3-0 Ventura leads. Medina back to pass. Over the middle, almost intercepted. The Ventura Cougars, Noah Conboy does it as a running back, nearly as a strong safety, made the interception, and now it will be time to punt. This is the second time tonight on this possession that we've seen the punter line up, but will Aguilar fake another one? Pretty doubtful on 4th and 18, and that time Conboy made a heck of a play and nearly picked it off.
It's the upside of having a great runner as your punter. Just give him that option. Run the punt option, Rob.
4th and 18. Aguilar this time is going to kick it out of bounds away from the return man. Now it will be assessed. It's getting marked off to the 26-yard line, so only a 10-yard punt from Aguilar, and Ventura takes over up 3-0.
Very rarely do you fake a special teams play and then get it but get nothing out of the drive.
And we do want to remind you, at the end of the quarter, we will be exclusively on vcstar.com. If you're watching on Facebook Live, make sure to go over to vcstar.com for the rest of tonight's game. A really good start from the Cougars, 3-0 with the ball. Back is Willis. Another low snap, but Willis has it. Willis is going to move to his right, got back to the original line of scrimmage and nothing else. It actually will be tacked off for about a 2-yard loss, and it will be 2nd and 12. 90 seconds remain in the first quarter. A little bit of a chilly, windy night, especially up here next to the press box.
It's Ventura on a Friday night.
I have about the most wintry thing I'll have on all day, and then our soon-to-be guest, just a normal T-shirt. So he's saying, enough of this. This isn't cold.
He's a Venturan.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be from Pittsburgh, dude.
I know. I lived out here long enough, went to Miami.
Blood has thinned. That's
exactly.
right. Exactly.
The man in motion is Garza, the slot receiver. They will throw a slip screen over to Jaden Klein. Klein up past the 30. Klein approaching the 35-yard line, gets to the 35, which gives the Ventura Cougars a first down. And Jaden Klein carried a couple Buena Bulldogs, caught it at inside the 25, and then went all the way up 10 yards while running to the first down markers. That was impressive. A second reception tonight for Klein.
Yeah, you can tell they're featuring him in this offense, one of their better defensive players. And you'll notice Ventura's going almost exclusively both ways. I mean, Willis may be the only guy out there that's not going both ways for the Cougars, so that may be an issue as we get further along in the game. 30
seconds. There will be a penalty. Illegal shift from the Ventura Cougars. And for the first time tonight, a penalty on offense that hurts the Cougars. On their first possession, it was clean football. They did have the 14-yard loss with the bad snap and a sack, but this is the first offensive penalty of the night for the Cougars with just 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Ventura leads 3-0. You are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Kent Brown and Joe Curley. It will be Billy Griffin, former Ventura Cougar CIF champion 2000. He will join us as the color commentator for the second quarter. The clock continues to wind, now under 15 seconds. In the shotgun is Willis. Willis is going to hand it off, and this is T.J. Barlow met behind the line of scrimmage. It's a 1-yard loss, and that will do it for this first quarter. 3-0. Ventura leads, and it is a very impressive quarter. And now again, we will have Billy Griffin join us here on the broadcast. We do want to remind you that tonight's game is the product of the Ventura County Star, your local leader in high school sports for the Ventura County area. To support this broadcast and all of the area's year-round sports coverage by the sports team at the Star, sign up for a print or digital subscription to the Ventura County Star. Visit subscribe.vcstar.com to see all of our special offers. We also want to remind you 20 doctors with 5 locations in Ventura County, all with one goal in mind, to get you back in the game. Ventura Orthopedics specializes in sports medicine, general orthopedics, pain management, pediatric, and MRI. Ventura Orthopedics offers exceptional therapy services featuring 26 highly skilled physical and occupational therapists. Learn more at venturaortho.com today or call to schedule an appointment at 800-698-1280. And you are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Kent Brown, Joe Curley going down to the field for the second quarter. So we are joined by Billy Griffin. Billy, it's a pleasure to have you up here. 2000 CIF champion. You have a brother as the offensive line coach on your rival team. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen in this first quarter. I think the Cougars have looked pretty good.
I think the Cougars are looking pretty good right now. You know, anytime you get Buena Ventura rivalry game, it's going to be a battle. So it kind of depends what who wants to win the most right now, and that's kind of where we're at.
And for Ventura, the offensive line has done a very good job. I know that's your specialty. On 2nd and 16, it's going to be a handoff to the right side and about a 6-yard pickup, so it will set up 3rd and 10. A little bit about your background. You went to the University of Florida. I'm a Miami Hurricane, so
I won't hold that against you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we both don't like Florida State, and they're struggling, so that's good.
It's all good. We got common ground right there.
Exactly. Our old pal Will Cowan now down in Tallahassee,
that's
so
right.
We kind of touch every base there in the state of Florida. Ventura trips to the left on the wide side of the field at the top of your screen. One receiver to the near side. It'll be shotgun for Willis. Willis back to pass. Willis will throw it across the middle. It's incomplete. Intended for Jaden Klein. And the Buena defense will hold 4th and 10 upcoming. But how about your brother being the offensive line coach? How does that factor in? I mean, you want him to do well, but you also would love to see your Cougars get their first win of the season tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, our family's always Cougar bred, Cougar born, so that's kind of where we're at. But we also have to support my brother. So John does a good job. He played at South Alabama, played O-line down there, so he knows what he's doing. So he's going to coach these kids up and get them in the right spot.
It will be Rodriguez punting. Rodriguez's punt gets a nice roll all the way to the 25-yard line. That ends up being a punt of 38 yards, no return. So a good job by Zach Rodriguez, and it will be the Buena Bulldogs taking over. And for Ventura, you're 0-2 in league play, winless on the season. But Joe and I talked pregame. They were a confident team. They've won this game a lot recently. There's a lot of players on the field. They might not have a win this season, but they also don't lose to Buena. So they're entering this game tonight saying,
sure,
we don't care what the record is the last 7 weeks. This is the team we will beat because we don't lose to these guys.
It doesn't matter right now. It doesn't matter what your record is, what you got. It matters about winning this game. So
on 1st and 10, it's Medina. Medina will hand it off at the 25-yard line. About a 3-yard gain for Bruce Powell Mathis. Actually going to mark him off about a yard past the line of scrimmage for 2nd and 9. But yes, I think that needs to be the mentality tonight. And we said going into this game, line play is going to be huge. And so far tonight, the Ventura defensive line and offensive line has really been up for the challenge.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're firing off the ball. They're coming off, getting their hands up quick, and they're playing good ball right now. Buena's, they're going to start a drive right here. You can tell. They got momentum.
The handoff's Powell Mathis. He will go to the wide side of the field, has the first down up to the 45-yard line, a 17-yard pickup. And that time he saw that there was a lot of green grass on the outside, and he ran to the sticks and turned it upfield. A very good gain for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. It's a good play for Buena right there. Make good movement on the line right there.
Remember to follow us at VCS Preps. A couple score updates. End of the first quarter, Santa Paula and Malibu locked up 0-0. Also end of the first, Grace Brethren 6, Thousand Oaks 0. And then Nordhoff leading Hueneme 14-0 at the end of the first. It's 1st and 10 here from Buena. It's the handoff, goes to the 50, to the 40, down to the 30-yard line, and out of bounds at the 29. A huge pickup for Robert Aguilar. He was the punter who faked the punt and got a first down, and now he shows the Jets, this time bouncing to the left side for another big run.
Yep, he found the open lane right there, and he took advantage of it. That was a good play for Buena right there. Great play.
Buena had the punt on its first possession. Ventura opened the game with a long 6+ minute drive that ended with a 38-yard field goal. The only score so far here tonight, Rourke Riemann. 10:20 remaining in the second quarter. It is 3-0. Ventura leading and searching for its first win of the 2018 season. Ventura in their road all white, Buena in their home all black. From the guns, Medina. Aguilar has the carry. Aguilar up the middle, stays on his feet, shakes it to about the 20-yard line, and that was a lot of willpower for Aguilar and a great job following the blockers up the middle and getting a big gain.
Absolutely. He followed his blocking. He missed the first tackle, and he made it work right there. He got a nice 8-yard gain. Is that what it was?
It ends up being, I believe they gave him the full 10, so it's a first down.
Gain, first down.
And you have to like that as an offensive lineman. If you
that.
create the hole, you want your guy to run right through it.
Love that.
On first down, it is Aguilar again. It'll be a short gain of 2 as he is met near the line of scrimmage. And for Ventura, you have Chili Tanner, the big sophomore. He's been all over tonight. Musel in the middle, and then both Carrera and Garza outside. These are guys that Coach Garcia told me earlier this week, they have to play big tonight. They need these guys. They're going to rotate a lot on the end positions, but the 2 tackles, specifically Tanner, you have to win the battles up front.
Absolutely. This game's going to come down to the trenches. It's going to come down to the guys up front. Who wants it more? Who's firing off the ball? Who's going to get after it? That's what it's going to come down to right now.
Always a competitive one. Here now in the Pacific View League. Medina's rolling to his right, trying to throw back over the middle. A dangerous throw, incomplete, and Ventura's defense read it. And that time it was a good job by TJ Barlow, the bandit outside linebacker, coming in and getting Medina and really not giving him any time to try to complete that inside screen.
Right, he was all over him right there. He did a good job covering that and staying on top of him.
Robert Buckley now into the game at the slot. Buena wearing the green socks tonight for cancer awareness. School-wide, see the cheerleaders with the ribbons and the players with the socks. On 3rd and long, it is going to be Powell Mathis closing in near the 10. He looks to be just short of the first down marker, and now it's decision time. 4th and probably 1, maybe 1.5. Or do you take the kick and tie the game? I know you as an offensive lineman, you're going to say every time, go for 4th and short.
You know, it depends where the momentum's right now. I mean, you want to carry this right now. So if you want the big guys to play ball, let's go ahead and strap it up and let's play. Looks like they're going for it.
Well, the officials are discussing something over on the sideline. It actually looks like they're moving the ball up inside the 10. So there's going to be a penalty, a personal foul on the Cougars post-play. That will bring the ball half the distance. So instead of it being at about the 11, it's up to the 5.5. A huge penalty from the Cougars, and it is now 1st and goal. A late hit called on Ventura. 1st and goal for Buena, trailing 3-0. 8:40 remaining in the second quarter. It's going to be
a touchdown.
Aguilar going to the left side, all the way up. It's actually Powell Mathis inside the 2, nearly got the touchdown. I think if he would have cut up immediately, might have had it, went outside, and now will be 2nd and goal at the 1 as Powell Mathis picks up about 3.5 yards, and it will be a 2nd and goal from inside the 2.
2nd and goal.
For the Bulldogs.
I think they got to come back to the run right now.
Yeah, the way they have ran the ball in this possession, you would think that it would be a power formation or a run with either Powell Mathis, Aguilar, or Morris, the speedster, as well. Can't forget him, especially if you send him in motion. It's going to be Morris on the quarterback keeper. They put Devin Morris in. He runs up the middle, and that time they say Medina might be our quarterback, but Morris is a speedster, untouched for the 2-yard score, and Buena takes the lead.
It's a great play by Buena right there. Offensive line opened the hole up, and they utilized. It's a great job.
Buena now leads 6-3, and that was a good possession starting off inside their own 30, and the big penalty eliminated the question of whether you kick or go for it. Snap back, hold down, the kick is up, and it is through as Ventura had the 3-0 lead, but Buena strikes to make it 7-3, and you with your brother as the O-line coach, a former lineman, you have to love a lot of the runs and a bunch of open holes on that drive.
Right. I mean, I think anytime you got a chance to run the ball as an offensive lineman, you got to lick your chops and get after it. So I think Buena's done a good job, especially this past drive, getting after the ball, firing off the ball, getting into them, and opening up holes for the running backs.
Ventura Orthopedics has one goal, to get you back in the game. The doctors are well versed in the special orthopedics needs of both the amateur and professional athlete. Many of their physicians currently serve as team doctors for most of the area, high schools and community colleges. 20 doctors, 26 physical therapists, all with an athlete's best health performance in mind. Learn more at venturaortho.com today or call to schedule an appointment at 800-698-1280. Buena Bulldogs with their first lead of the night, 2-0 in league play, 3 consecutive wins. Ventura searching for its first win of the season. Kent Brown, along with Billy Griffin, former Ventura High grad, CIF champion, and Florida Gator. We'll get more on your playing time with the Gators here in a moment, as the kickoff was another short one. And it looks like both teams tonight, they don't want to actually kick it deep to the return men. They're going up to that second group, and pretty good field position once again for Ventura.
It looks like they're playing small ball right now, which is it's a tactic that they use, and it looks like they're going to rely on their defense right now. So we'll see what they got.
37-yard line, 1st and 10.
So you played out here in Southern California. You went out to the swamp in Florida. Tell us about your experience there. So when you got there, Spurrier, and was it Zook by the end, or what was the coaching like there, and what led you from here all the way to the Sunshine State?
Well, Ron Zook recruited me, and anytime you get recruited by a powerhouse SET team from Ventura, California, you take advantage of it. So I went out there, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Played good ball out there.
On first down, there's going to be a motion penalty. I grew up in Pittsburgh area. My brother visited the Florida Gators. Actually, probably would have played with you a little, but ended up at the Miami Hurricanes from 03 to 07. But he was the same. Ron Zook, a former special teams coach, actually held the ball for him when he visited.
Is that right?
He said, hey, let's see what you got, man. But he ended up joining the Hurricanes, and then a couple years later, I went and joined South Beach with him, I suppose. But
good time.
And now I'm out here in Southern California. And
the weather's better out here.
Oh, yeah. It's more consistent, that's for sure.
That's right.
Yeah, you show up there in August, and it is rough. After the penalty, 1st and 15 for the Ventura Cougars. Willis from the gun hands it off to Conboy. Conboy cuts back inside the 43 all the way up to the 45, and then his offensive lineman just gets to the lower back, pushes him forward, and he is right near a first down marker. Appears to be about a yard short. That was a big 13 or 14-yard run.
Yeah, that was a good job. It was a great cut by the running back, good push by the offensive line, and they did a good job just keeping the legs moving and moving forward. It's a good run.
Big 2nd and 1 after the 5-yard penalty, a 14-yard rush from Conboy. They've been mixing it up with both Conboy and Barlow tonight. 4 wide. Now a man in motion. It's Klein. Looking for Klein and getting it over to the right side. Klein's 3rd catch of the night has the first down up to the 50-yard line, and Jaden Klein continues to be a weapon. Went in motion there, caught the ball as the play. I think originally Willis was looking for something downfield, found his H-back. Klein picks up the first down and moves the chains.
Yeah, that was a good job, just kind of going through your reads and picking up the open guy and getting what you can. Moving the chains forward is what it's all about right now.
Another Ventura possession where they are in Buena territory. It will be 4 wide again. Rodriguez, Garza, Wynell, and Klein. The lone back is Conboy. Now they'll shift him from the right side to the left side. A low snap. Willis has it. Willis rolling to his left. Throws to Klein. Klein has it
nice
again
recovery.
Near the first down marker. He will be right near the sticks. And as you said, a heck of a recovery from Willis as the snap was low. That's the third time tonight that there's been either a high or low snap. One, of course, cost Ventura on their first drive, but this time Willis did a nice job moving to his left and finding the open receiver a yard short of the sticks.
Right. That's just making chicken salad out of, I'm not going to say the second part of that, but that's a good job of recovery right there and making a play.
It was
rivalry games, you got to make things happen. So,
and then moving to his left, throwing away from his body and still getting it to the open receiver.
Right.
2nd and 1. Rivalry here in the Pacific View League. Buena undefeated in league play. Ventura searching for its first win. Garza in motion from the slot. It's going to be handed off. Cutting up is Barlow. Barlow easily has the first down. And that was well designed, well executed. You don't need everything there. They only needed one. They pick up 4. Another first down.
It's another first down. It's a good job by the offense right there, keeping the chains moving.
And the one thing you wouldn't mind here, if you are Coach Garcia and the staff, take some of the clock off. Try to get a score and run this clock down as much as possible. This is now the second drive tonight where Ventura has taken their time, picked up a lot of first downs, and just milked that clock.
Right. That's a tactic right now they're using. So they're moving the chains. They're going in the right direction. So 1st and 10.
5:15 left in the second quarter. It's going to be another handoff to Barlow. Only a gain of 1 as he was hit at the line of scrimmage. Coming up and making the play was Alec Tafoya, the defensive tackle, along with Chad Rogers, the defensive end. Both seniors on that play, and the running back Barlow is a junior for Ventura. I want to remind you to go to VCS Preps on Twitter, at VCS Preps. Follow all of our reporters tonight and retweeting and live at a bunch of the area games. And as this game goes on, we will continue to give you score updates across the county. 2nd and 9, Willis back to pass. Willis with a lot of time, loads up, incomplete, but there is a flag thrown, and it looks like it will be pass interference on Christian Ayala, as a pretty good job by Wynell to go up for it, and Ayala did grab him near where the ball was going.
That was a bang-bang play, but it looks like he got his hands on him a little too quick right there.
And instead of it being 3rd and 9, that ball was going to sail wide as it is.
It looked like it was out of range there.
It's now going to be first down for the Ventura Cougars with 4:25 left here in the second quarter. A big personal foul, not personal foul, just pass interference on that one.
Pass interference penalty against the Bulldogs.
Also want to mention some score updates. Oxnard leading Rio Mesa 22-0 here in the Pacific View League. And then also Nordhoff now up 21-0 on Wainimi. And Camarillo leads Moore Park 13-7. 3 wide. 2 to the short side of the field on the bottom of your screen. 1 single receiver at the top. Klein will switch. Klein to the left. They will throw to the right side. Incomplete for Garza. And that was a quick pass to the wideout, but a good job by the defense. Aguilar made that play.
Yeah, it was a good play on the defense right there. He stayed on top of him, didn't blow the coverage. It was a good job.
Ventura and Buena, big rivalry game. Ventura, as Joe Curley said earlier, 11 straight years Buena has come into this game with a win. 8 of those 11, Ventura has left with a win the following week. So this has become a routine situation for Ventura where Buena comes in hot, and a lot of the times they lead with a loss. On 2nd and 10, another low snap, and Willis just picks it up and this time falls forward to the 21. It will be a loss of 1 and 3rd and 11. And maybe in week 0, week 1, this type of stuff happens, but for this to now be your 8th game, it's not that common. And I know talking to Coach Garcia today, or earlier this week, he did say the offensive line has been in flux. There's been a bunch of injuries. I even asked him, what's your starters left to right? And he goes, depending on the day, we switch that up. So it does look like they are searching for continuity on this offensive line. And tonight, we've seen the center and quarterback not necessarily in sync a few times, and it's cost Ventura.
Yeah, the center quarterback exchange, that should be automatic. But, anytime you get a game like this, nerves are flowing. It's one of the hardest things to do in the football field is snap the ball and block. So, they're going to have to figure that out right now. It's a big game. They're got to grow up fast right now.
Kent Brown with Billy Griffin, former CIF champion, Ventura Cougars, class of 2000, and then a Florida Gator. Just a a quick hitter on the college side. Gators, Commodores tomorrow. Your Gators are going to win, right?
Absolutely.
Coming off the big win last
Absolutely.
week. Keep it
We're
going.
rolling right now. Dan Mullen's doing a good job over there.
Dan Mullen, an excellent job when he was coordinating at Florida. Then he went to Mississippi State and did well. And so far, he's bringing the Gators back in the top 20 here in the 2018 season. You are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Joe Curley will be back up in the second half. He's down on the field. We are pleased to be joined by Billy Griffin. Kent Brown here from Buena High School.
It's a big play here.
7-3, Buena leads. The Ventura Cougars facing a 3rd and 12 from the Buena 22-yard line. Willis back to pass. Willis searching for Klein on the left side. Klein has it. Klein crosses the goal line for a 22-yard score. And Jaden Klein has been excellent tonight. And that time one-on-one on the outside. He made the play, and it was a perfect strike from Carson Willis.
Great throw by the quarterback. Great catch. Open guy. I mean, that's catching the football right there. Great job getting in the end zone.
So Klein with the big 22-yard touchdown. And Ventura with another lead. The Cougars not going anywhere here tonight. Looking for their first win of the season. Snap back, hold down, and the Riemann kick is up, and it is through. And Ventura, when they trailed 7-3, they marched right down the field, got 7 back, and take the 10-7 lead. And that was an impressive drive all around, Billy. We saw Conboy and Barlow, the running backs. We saw Rodriguez making plays. And then Klein continues to shine at receiver. But the offensive line, on that play in particular, held its own and gave the quarterback time to find the open receiver.
I think they did a really good job holding their own, like you said, and just moving the chains, moving down, taking what they got, getting off the ball, and just making it work, moving the chains. That's what it's all about, especially in these type of games.
Another score update. Fillmore leading Santa Clara 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. As we said throughout the night, we will update you with all the area scores. Make sure to follow us at VCS Preps. Riemann, the kicker. The return men for the Buena Bulldogs are Morris and Aguilar. This time it will be kicked out of bounds, goes out at the 13, so that's one way to keep it away from the return men, is to make sure it goes out of bounds and doesn't touch any of them. But that will be a penalty assessed, and it will be good field position upcoming for the Buena Bulldogs, if they accept it. They might decline it. And now it looks like that's exactly what Buena will do, and they'll make Ventura re-kick. How about that strategy?
You know what? It's a tactic that Tim's going with right now, so we'll see how it works out for him here. How much time we have here? 3:41. 3:41.
Ventura will re-kick, so it will be Morris and Aguilar back for the Buena Bulldogs. Last possession went down the field, and it was a direct snap to Devin Morris for a short 2-yard score that gave Buena a 7-3 lead, but then Ventura answered with a 22-yard strike on the last possession from Klein.
I think Ventura's doing a good job right now with momentum.
Riemann trying to kick it away from Morris. Morris corrals it at the 22. Morris turning upfield to the 25. Makes the man miss at the 30. Morris up to the 40. Morris will spin at the 42. Down he goes for a big 20-yard return. And how about that shake and bake at the 30? Make a man miss. And that's why you try to keep it away from him. But Morris says, nope, I'm going to make a play, and I'm going to gain a lot of yards.
Yeah, he did a good job making people miss. Moving in the right direction right now.
10-7, Ventura leads. 3:30 remaining in the second quarter. Limited possessions in this game for both sides. We have seen 3 very long drives, one resulting in a Ventura field goal, and then 2 touchdown drives on the last 2 possessions of this ball game. Back from the gun is Medina. He hands it off to Powell Mathis. Powell Mathis up past midfield to the 49-yard line, will be a yard short of the sticks. A good 9-yard gain on first down.
Good movement on the offensive line right there. Good push. Good push up front, getting to the second level and keeping their feet moving.
Kent Brown and Billy Griffin here from Buena High School. Billy's brother, the offensive line coach for Buena. He's a Ventura grad. That kind of has a little bit on both sides. On 2nd and 1,
nice
a huge loss. and that was a big play from the Ventura defense. And making the play was Nick Carrera, the sophomore defensive end, chipped the running back, and then he could not keep his balance, and it is a huge 8-yard loss, and will be 3rd and 9.
Yep, that's a classic example of offensive line not covering people up, moving their feet. Crossed his face and made the tackle there. It's a good job by Ventura.
Nick Carrera, the sophomore, one of the rotating DNs on this team. 4 wide. From the gun is Medina. Powell Mathis, the running back. They will throw to Morris. Morris turning it upfield, has the first down up to the 41-yard line. And a big gain for Devin Morris, gets officially to the 40, so that is a 17-yard gain, and it was just a crossing route. He caught it, turned upfield, and just kept his balance.
He's fast.
Yes.
He's fast. When he gets in space, he's dangerous.
Now we're seeing the Ventura band enter below us as the Buena band went down on the track. So
they're switching it up, aren't they?
They are right next to the Buena student section. I heard one of the kids go, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Almost like, okay, why are you letting this band anywhere near us?
They're asking for it.
On 1st and 10, it's going to be a handoff and a punishing run up to the 33-yard line. And that was Morris with the run, and a good gain on 1st down, and now a timeout from the Buena Bulldogs. We do want to remind you tonight's broadcast is a product of the Ventura County Star, your local leader in high school sports for the Ventura County area. To support this broadcast and all of the year-round sports coverage by the sports team at the Star, sign up for a print or digital subscription to the Ventura County Star. Visit subscribe.vcstar.com to see all of our special offers. That's subscribe.vcstar.com. 10-7 is the score. 1:50 remaining in the ball game. It is late in the second quarter. VCStar.com, Kent Brown with Billy Griffin. And Billy, this has been a hotly contested game. These are two teams that desperately want this. We talked earlier, Joe and I did, if Buena wins this, or 3-0 in league play, they're looking great for a playoff spot. And for Ventura, you want to be the spoiler, but you also want to keep your winning streak and keep your rivalry wins against the Buena Bulldogs if you're Ventura. So there was a lot on the line. It's not quite a playoff game for the Cougars, but I'm sure all week it's felt that way.
Yeah, anytime you got a Buena Ventura game, it doesn't matter what the record is, doesn't matter what the schedule is. This game, at this moment, it's what matters. So.
2nd and 3. Morris gets the direct snap. Morris turning it upfield inside the 30 to the 20, out to the 18-yard line, a 15-yard pickup.
They're moving.
And that has been a really effective play here in the second quarter, an adjustment. Devin Morris coming in at quarterback and just following his blockers and getting big gains.
Yeah, found open space, and they're just rolling with it. They're getting people covering up blockers or defenders downfield, and they're just moving forward. It's a good job by Buena.
1:41 left.
Ventura needs a stop here.
7-10, 10-7. Ventura leads. Buena trails by 3. The big Pacific View League game. Ventura searching for its first win. Buena looking to go to 3-0 in league play. Once again, it is Morris at the quarterback spot. He will keep it again up the middle, and it's a short gain this time of only 2 as he faked it to Aguilar.
Number 5, Devin Morris on the keeper.
It's about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah,
Will be
2-yard
2nd
gain.
and 8. No dire hurry here as you're in the red zone with over a minute remaining.
They're having good success running the ball, so I would be surprised if they deviate from that right now. They still got time.
Morris stays in. It is Powell Mathis as the running back to his right side.
Yep, they're going.
Look to be a potential option play. Now Powell Mathis will be the lead blocker. Morris cuts up inside the 10-yard line to the 9. Has the first down. Needed 8, picked up 9, and that time he followed his lead blocker. And it was just a very nicely designed play and good execution as Morris picked up 9 and gets the first.
Yeah, Buena did a good job covering people up and creating space for the running back, the quarterback at that point. Good job.
1st and goal for the Bulldogs. 1:05 remaining. The Bulldogs have led by as many as 4, have trailed by 3 now on 2 occasions. That is where the score is right now, 10-7. 1st and goal from the 9. Morris in at quarterback again. It will be Aguilar and Mathis split backs from the gun. Morris keeps it. Morris met at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. 2nd and goal at the 9, and Ventura's defensive front showed up that time and won the battle up front.
They did. They had push off the line, and they got in there and made a play. Defensive tackles did a nice job right there, creating space and plugging the holes up.
Chili Tanner, the big sophomore nose guard, in on that play. What do you think about when the defensive lineman, especially a 255-pounder, wearing the single-digit number?
You know, it's kind of a thing nowadays, you know. They got the single number that makes them feel good, I guess.
On second and goal, there is
flag.
2 penalty flags in the backfield as Morris spins his way to the 10, and now a 3rd penalty flag. Make it 4. The field is littered with yellow flags. Now we'll see. There might even be 2 different penalties.
I think it's offsetting.
A couple were thrown early, and then a couple thrown late, as Morris had nothing doing on the play. There were 2 thrown right in the area of holding typically, and then 2 thrown maybe where it could have been a defensive penalty. You will see
what they come up
the
with
official
here.
call is. And this is a huge one because for the Ventura Cougars, you're trying to hold this Buena offense, and for the Bulldogs, if you can get near, there is, wow, look at that, holding on the offense, and then a personal foul, unsportsmanlike on the offense.
That's huge right now.
That is gigantic, as it would have been maybe 3rd and goal at the 9. You can live with no gain, and now they will assess 2 penalties on the Buena Bulldogs. So the ball was at the 9-yard line. Now the officials will tack off the yardage after the flag all the way back to the 23-yard line. Oh, well, there's the holding, and now the 15 yards comes in. This will end up going all the way back to the 38-yard line. That will be a 29-yard loss in penalties. And Billy, I don't know what coaching anyone has for this type of play, but your 2nd and goal is actually going to be 3rd and goal because the 1 is post play.
You know, they got 24 seconds left. They're going to have to cut this distance in half. So,
and, yeah, now
they're going to have to put it in the air right now.
Medina's coming back in. The clock continues to wind down to 15 seconds.
Timeout.
Now it appears that there will be a timeout call. Just a very undisciplined. It's one thing to get the holding call, but then the unsportsmanlike call in that situation just really hurts what you can call for the offense, especially when you're a run-first offense like Buena is. Being all the way back to your 38-yard line, there's not much you can do.
You know, in these games, too, the emotions are high right now, and, you know, crosstown rivalry, and, you know, there's a lot of emotions going. So these players really have to hone in, be disciplined about what they're doing.
15 seconds left. It was a Buena timeout. And Medina, the quarterback, been pretty good tonight. And then we've seen a lot of Morris, specifically on this drive, be the quarterback and just run along with Powell Mathis and Aguilar. You are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Kent Brown with Billy Griffin. Joe Curley will come up for the second half and do the color commentating. He was here for the first quarter on the field at the moment. In this very tight rivalry game between Buena and Ventura, 10-7 is where it sits with just 15 ticks on the clock here in the second quarter.
It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 38.
2nd and goal from the 38, not something you hear too often.
No, that's deep.
That's good for the defense, really bad if you are the offense when you hear that.
You have to cut in half here.
Medina, the quarterback, from the 44, he throws it across the middle. It's Morris who catches it in the red zone up to the 16-yard line. Morris, and another timeout called from Buena. And with 7 seconds left now, I don't know if you go one into the end zone or if you just decide to kick. It would be a 33-yard attempt.
Looks like they're going
from
for
Talon Butterbaugh if they decide to kick the football. And that was a good gain. When you're at the 38, you get 22 yards like that, and you only waste 8 seconds. That's a really solid play with the timeout in hand.
That's great. A lot of times in those situations, the center of the field's open, so they utilize that, and they capitalized on what they had. Now they're looking at, what are they, 20 out?
16-yard line.
16 out.
And anytime you get the ball in Devin Morris's hands, he can make the play.
Absolutely. It's a big play for Ventura here.
Decision time, if they do decide to go, it will be Butterbaugh, the sophomore kicker. Does look like the offense remains in now. Ventura calls the timeout. So going through VCS Preps on Twitter, seeing some score updates. End of the first half. Santa Paula leading Malibu 7-0. Also, Calabasas ahead 35-0. Fillmore up on Santa Clara, 21-0. There's a few scores for you. Here it is, 10-7 from Buena High School. 7 seconds remaining in the second quarter. It was a 3-0 score at the end of the first as Riemann had the lone score, a 38-yard field goal. Buena went down, a 2-yard rush for Morris to give a 7-3 lead. And then Ventura answered with a 22-yard strike as Willis found Klein. And this is where we sit, 10-7. Medina at quarterback. Medina will throw to the corner of the end zone, incomplete, and there is 3 seconds remaining.
One more shot.
Now the decision comes, do you kick? And they will send Talon Butterbaugh, the sophomore place kicker, in for the 33-yard attempt to try to tie this game up in the closing moments of this second quarter. And after you get the 2 penalties there, the holding and then the unsportsmanlike, I think a field goal here, you'll feel pretty good that you came up with something, because when you're second and goal from the 38, any points at that point is not too bad.
I think so. They still got to make it, though.
Snap back, hold down, Butterbaugh's kick
decent.
Is up, and it is through. Talon Butterbaugh drills it, and we go into the half tied at 10 apiece.
Wow.
It's a Pacific U League game, a rivalry game, and that is exactly how it feels with a packed stadium, black and gold on one side, black and blue on the other. Kent Brown, and we want to thank you, Billy, for coming onto our broadcast and joining us here. Good luck not only to your high school Ventura, but also your brother's school, the Buena Bulldogs, as he's coaching the offensive line. We will step aside. It's halftime, 10-10.
Buena Football would like to thank our amazing JV and varsity cheerleaders. Give a big Bulldog hello to Lexi, Harmon, Ashley, Celeste, Kaylee, Kylie, Bella, Roberta, Ryan, Kylie, Kaylin, Courtney, Amanda, Taylor, Brooklyn, Evangelina, Lila, Charlene, Casey, Liliana, Carly, Madison, Allison, Alexa, Carly, Emma, Natalie, Sienna, Riley, Lizanne, and of course Avery. Put your hands together, Bulldog fans. These are your amazing 2018 Buena cheerleaders. your 2018 Buena cheerleaders. Time for your Buena High School Marching Band, the pride of the Gold Coast. They will be performing their program entitled Flatland. Your Buena High School Marching Band. Want to take a quick moment for Bulldogs Tackle Cancer. Please help support Patrick Graham, Buena JV player number 88, and his battle with cancer. Wristbands are on sale now at the Fanware booth for $2. All proceeds benefit Patrick and his family directly. And a quick reminder that next week is homecoming. Be sure to come to the game next Friday at 7 p.m. to see the homecoming court and senior king and queen crowned.
Welcome back to the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Kent Brown and Joe Curley here from Buena High School Pacific View League game. The Buena Bulldogs 3-4 in the season, but 2-0 in league play. It's all locked up against the winless Ventura Cougars. And Joe, we knew this would be a rivalry game in which Ventura was confident because they've beaten these guys before, and they're confident because you do not want to lose to your crosstown rivals. And in the first half, Ventura looked great. They scored on their first possession. They scored on their last possession. and it was pretty efficient offense from the quarterback Carson Willis, and Jaden Klein making a huge difference as the H-back with 5 catches.
Yeah, you take one of your better defensive players, move him to H-back, design the game plan around him, and he shows up in the biggest half of football you've played this year. Good job by Ventura, and you got to like the way Buena's taken a couple haymakers and come back. Had that drive, had that really weird situation where the penalties backed them out of field goal range, make a play to get back in, take a shot at the end zone, and then Taylon Butterbaugh nailing the field goal in the Buena-Ventura game to tie the game at the half. So, everything to play for, and I think I can speak for Anthony up in the booth and Kent and everybody that a tie game at the half at the game of the week is a good thing, and a competitive game and in one of the biggest games of the year. So really excited for this second half. Yeah,
the crowd showed up. It is packed here at Buena High School. And recapping scoring, we said 3-0 Ventura at the end of the first. Then it was a 7-3 lead for Buena. Ventura strike to lead 10-7, and then right before half, the Butterbaugh 33-yard field goal. And Devin Morris was a star in the first half. He was making plays not only as a receiver, but also direct snap quarterback. He was very effective.
Yeah, let me give you the stats. Morris, 9 carries, 53 yards. That leads Buena. Buena's got 160 yards of total offense. They've got 130 yards rushing, couple completed passes by Medina. Ventura's at 102. They've had shorter fields, although really we've had 6 drives and 6 possessions, and 5 of them have been good drives. 3 by Buena, 2 by Ventura, and their leader obviously is Klein with the 5 catches for 57 yards. Willis is 6 of 10 for 60 yards. Buena's got 42 yards rushing. Most of that is TJ the linebacker. TJ Barlow. So, so really just, really strong first half of football, and looking forward to seeing just what it, determines, makes the difference between these two teams in the second half.
Riemann looks like he will have another short kickoff. He does. Kicks it to the up man at the 30. So away from Morris. Now it's going to be Buena taking it up to the 35, all the way up close to the 40-yard line. And for Buena, that was Abraham Friend on the return. So a nice gain, good field position to start off for the Bulldogs. And they're fresh off a field goal drive in which they marched down the field, were goal to go, and then 2 penalties, backed them all the way up, got the 33-yard field goal. But in that second quarter, Buena's offense looked really good. Morris with the touchdown, Butterbaugh with the field goal. They were very effective.
And Buena with the chance here, playing a little situational football, a chance to make the hairpin turn and double score and take control of this game after being down 10-7. So, really big possession here to start the second half. And you got to say, both student sections really bringing it on Buena Ventura night. Both bands, we got a really nice halftime band performance from the Buena band. So, this night's got all the trimmings.
On 1st and 10. The ball is going to go, and it will be fumbled again.
Did we?
Willis is down for a loss on the play.
They fumbled the kickoff?
He ended up fumbling that on the 43. How about that? We're turned up past the 38. I thought they were
too busy hitting our
talking
talking points.
We're getting the talking points going, and all of a sudden Ventura has the football. So pardon us there. I didn't even see. It looked like he just kind of went down regularly at the 40.
So much for a big drive by Buena to take the hairpin turn. He must have. He was certainly fighting for extra yards on the kickoff, and it must have squirted out.
Abraham Friend, that's one reason you kick to an up man, is he's not normally used to the ball in his hands on special teams. Another bad snap on first down. Second down, not much doing. So it is 3rd and long upcoming for Ventura. And Ventura will get great field position here, but that's been one thing Ventura's had to worry about. The first drive, it was clean. There were no negative plays until the sack that ended up with a field goal. Since then, there's been a lot of bad snaps, and Willis hasn't lost any of those, but it's been kind of an adventure.
Well, it's really, they haven't come close to getting sacked. That's the only 2 sacks they have are the 2 covered, fumbled. They're not really sacks. They're, fumble recoveries for negative yards. That's 3 now. And it's really been the only negative plays Ventura's had.
10:30 remaining in the third quarter. Starting in plus territory after the fumbled return, it is quarterback Willis. Rolling to his right, throwing it across his body. It's complete inside the 30, and that is going to be caught by Bryce Wynell. He is short of the first down markers, but it will be 4th and 1 for the Cougars if they choose to go for it. And that was a very, very nice throw. One of the better ones tonight from Willis.
Kent, this is the last time I'm going to let you sit down on the job, my friend. We sit down to start the second half after an exciting first, and we missed the opening fumble, the opening kick fumble.
That was wild because it just looked like he kind of ran into a pile, and next thing you know, it's team in white with the football. 4th and 1 for the Cougars. It's going to be handed off to Barlow. Barlow does not get it anywhere near. It actually was Conboy, and it was the defensive line rising to the occasion. And for the Buena Bulldogs, they hold on 4th and 1, and they will take over about 5 yards back from where they would have had it if not for the fumble. So the defense holds after the special teams blunder.
Smart adjustment there by the Buena defense, because if you realize the first drive of the game, Ventura, they had a third and 2 that they converted on that same play. Ventura went back to it, and Buena had made the adjustment. So good job there by the Bulldogs to thwart that 4th and short.
Now Buena officially has the football. Just want to make sure offense is out on the field. It is Medina from the gun. Inside handoff. Battling for maybe a yard, and it will be 2nd and long. And for the Buena Bulldogs, big possession because it is 10-10. You score to end the second. And now with Medina, you have a quarterback who a lot of the second quarter was on the bench. They went with Morris a lot at the quarterback position and ran the football. So there wasn't a ton that he did in that second quarter, especially on that final drive. It will be 4 wide. The lone back is Powell Mathis. Medina from the gun. Back to pass. Pocket holds up. They throw a screen to Morris, and it's dropped. And that time it was Barlow on the Ventura defense waiting for him. Might have made the play as it is, but we know with Morris, if you get the ball in his hands, he usually makes that first guy miss. That time he was unable to bring in the second down pass, and now it's 3rd and 9.
Kind of a strange start to the second half here.
You are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Kent Brown and Joe Curley on the call. We do want to thank Billy Griffin for coming up and joining us in the second quarter, the former Ventura Cougar CIF 2000 champion. Brother coaching O-line for the Bulldogs. On 3rd and 9, it's tipped up in the air, nearly intercepted. Nick Lansky, the junior Mike linebacker, almost came up with it. That's a great play regardless, even if you don't make the pick. But that time, a throw over the middle, and the linebacker read it perfectly.
Nick Lansky, the younger brother of Jake, the great Ventura High kicker, and son of fire captain Lansky, who they lost their home in the Thomas Fire. Wrote a story on him at the Rams-Niner game last year. But
it's going to be a quick punt by Aguilar, and they will get quite a roll. On 4th and 9, the pressure was coming. He wasn't even able to get a full punt off, kind of poked it through the impending blockers, and it goes all the way down to the 22-yard line. And that's going to end up being a punt over 40 yards with no return. So just when it looked like maybe pressure will come, you might get a block, Aguilar's able to get it away, and it will be Ventura backed up near their own 20.
And Buena starting to play the field position game a little bit. Remember, one of our biggest games of the year on Game of the Week was that huge PVL game, Oxnard Pacifica, which was basically decided by Oxnard squeezing the life out of Pacifica in the field position game and getting a plus turnover and turning the game around that way.
You have 1 wide is Rodriguez at the bottom of your screen. They will pitch it to Barlow on the right side. He cuts back. A good first down run from Barlow. Gets about half the needed yardage. Will be 2nd and medium. And that time, it was a well-designed play and a good job by Barlow to cut up and pick up 5. 8:20 remaining, third quarter. It's been defense rising to the occasion here in the third quarter after 17 points went down in the second quarter. That was the highest scoring quarter by far. Defenses have both held here in the early stages of the third frame. 2nd and 5. Man in motion is Klein, who's been the star receiver tonight for the Cougars. Barlow again. Barlow turning up near the 30-yard line. 3rd and short awaits the Cougars. And we've seen a lot of Barlow tonight. We have Conboy. They rotate both. But it does seem like to this point, Barlow's been the more effective back tonight against Buena.
Yeah, Conboy is a really good back, but he's might be he's
Been banged up.
Yeah, in and out of the lineup. So whether it's fatigue or whether he's not 100%, and Barlow is one of their better two-way players. So
7:20 remaining in the third quarter. Ventura facing a 3rd and 1 from their own 31-yard line. From the gun, it's Willis. Willis hands it up the middle, trying to get to that 32-yard line, and he looks to be about a half a yard short. And a great job from the linebackers coming up and hitting Barlow near the line of scrimmage. And it will be 4th and 1, and now it is definitely decision time for Ventura. I have to think you probably
I don't
punt
think
this.
there's really a decision.
But it's only half a yard.
Trying to get it to measure? What would you be doing?
Yeah,
Open
probably, but it's definitely short. They had to get out past the 32, and that ball is marked just short. The offense stays in the game for now.
They gave him a first down.
Wow, look at that.
How's that for a spot?
The ball is actually moved up. Yeah, they needed to get past the 32, and the ball is spotted right there.
Wow.
That is a heck of a spot.
Forward progress.
Ventura will take it, though.
On the field, yeah. They knew.
The Cougars will take it. It's 1st and 10. The pass is dropped as it was intended for Klein, and it's probably the first one tonight he didn't bring in and make a play, and it will be 2nd and 10. They tried to get him on the quick screen.
Yeah, you can hear the wind blowing up here, and it's probably getting a little chillier down there. It might be tougher to make, some of those tougher catches. So
nearing the midway point of the third quarter, Buena and Ventura in a deadlock, 10 apiece. You are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Kent Brown and Joe Curley here on the call. 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Klein in motion. 2 wide to the bottom of your screen, and another snap exchange with the center and quarterback, and the defense comes in for another sack, and that is going to be Tafoya in on the sack. And that looked to be a snap that wasn't that poor, and instead Willis unable to pick it up. And again, they didn't fumble it, but ultimately they didn't lose the fumble, but ultimately it's a big loss.
You can't do anything offensively if you can't handle the center quarterback exchange, whether it's the center's fault or the quarterback's fault. I know there's a lot going on, but you got to look the ball in your hands and you got to secure it, and it's harder to secure it the colder it is.
It'll be 3rd and 19. Ball's on the 23. They have to get to the 42. Willis, a junior quarterback from the gun. It'll be a 4-man rush, and Willis goes down. The defensive line for Buena on back-to-back plays rises to the occasion, and Tafoya with back-to-back sacks. And the senior, Alec Tafoya, making the play. He's not just an offensive lineman, being the blindside left tackle on offense. He is a heck of a defensive tackle. Back-to-back plays that Buena wins the line of scrimmage, and it is now 4th and 20+, and it's time to punt for Zach Rodriguez and Ventura.
And it's field position. You get back to,
another low snap. Rodriguez gets it off. He's hit. They will throw a flag in the backfield.
You can tell he's not a punter by trade because he got whacked pretty good and he stayed up.
Yeah.
And he didn't act. He didn't go down like we know. If he'd have gone down like a ton of bricks, we'll see what what this call is, if they're just going to call running in. But that was a pretty decent collision, even though he
was. And he didn't touch the ball. So that's where it is going to be.
Roughing.
Personal foul, roughing.
Wow.
And how about that? Rodriguez just, as you said, not even remotely trying to act on that play. And now the officials will
Tafoya makes
mark
2
it off.
plays. And you can't, everything kind of changes when the ball hits the ground. And, you really feel like you got a shot at it. You can't fault the Buena kid for going after it because, you got a shot for, a safety or scoop and score there, and you're going full speed. But that's transitional. You think of the way the game, could have changed in the first half where Buena on 4th down, converts a fake punt, and now we've got another punting situation that the drive is extended.
Special teams blunders. Another unfortunate play. You're going in for the block, but you have to avoid the punter in that situation. 1st and 10. Willis back out on the field. Willis back at his own 25. He's throwing deep down the right sideline, and it's knocked away from Buena.
Look like he
Was it an interception? There's no signal for one. It will be 2nd and 10. Might have caught it right towards the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for the wide out on the top of your screen. And it's a risky play in that they haven't thrown it deep much tonight. But that time they were clearly looking for the Buena defense to maybe put everyone near the line of scrimmage and have 1-on-1 on the outside. It was good coverage.
Really surprising score from Oaks Christian St. Bonaventure. Oaks Christian only up 13-0 at the half. St. Bonaventure kind of hanging in there.
Hanging in for now. Here we have a 10-10 game. Midway through the third quarter, and it's going to be a nice run from Barlow. Needed 10 for the first down, picked up 12 on 2nd and 10, and now it is the Cougars nearing midfield. A heck of a run for Barlow.
Yeah, he cut up. He accelerated into that cut. He's looking like a real running back.
Absolutely. Also making plays on the defensive side here tonight in that bandit hybrid outside linebacker safety spot. Another pitch. It's Barlow again. Barlow unable to get to the corner, losing a yard, and the defense making a big play for Buena. And that was a heck of a play from Morris on the defensive side. And he's a speedster, and he showed why.
These two teams, man. I mean, really, you've got guys who are just, I joke about Barlow calling him, he looks like a real running back. It's because he's one of the best linebackers on the field.
Yes.
And, these are guys, on both sides that are really, playing both. And really, we'll see what the fourth quarter looks. There's going to be some real fatigue out there because you've got the build-up to this game where you're out early and you're warming up and the fans are going. And
on 2nd and 11. Willis back to pass, throwing through triple coverage, and it is caught by Klein. He put it in the only spot his receiver can make the catch. Klein corralled it in, and there were 3 black jerseys right near that football, but the white jerseys who are the intended target, and Willis got it to Klein for another catch.
Yeah, doesn't move the chains, but it gets you in 3rd and short.
It'll be 3rd and 4. Ball at the Bulldogs' 48-yard line. Ventura once again in plus territory, crossing the 50. It's a familiar position here tonight for the Cougars. The clock continues to wind now to 3 minutes left in this third quarter. It has been limited possessions all over throughout this game. Ventura's fine with that as long as they keep putting points on the board. 10-10, Klein in motion. And now there's going to be a timeout called from the Ventura Cougars. With that, we want to remind you tonight's broadcast is a product of the Ventura County Star, your local leader in high school sports for the Ventura County area. To support this broadcast and all the year-round sports coverage by the sports team at the Star, sign up for a print or digital subscription to the Ventura County Star. Visit subscribe.vcstar.com to see all of our special offers. That's subscribe.vcstar.com. Also, at Ventura Orthopedics, they offer state-of-the-art technology to ensure their patients receive the best care available. Always staying abreast of the latest developments in orthopedic medicine, the doctors and surgeons have been among the first in the community to perform many advanced orthopedic treatments, including total hip replacement. Learn more at VenturaOrtho.com today and let them help you get back in the game. You are watching the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at VCS Preps for all the latest scores throughout the area. A couple score updates. Nordhoff leading Hueneme 28-14, so Hueneme closing the gap there a little bit. Fillmore Santa Clara remains 21-0 in that contest. Simi Valley ahead of Oak Park 28-6, and then also another halftime score, Pacifica ahead of Channel Islands here in the Pacific View League. And that is a 34-6 lead for Pacifica. We mentioned the Pacific View League standings earlier tonight. 2 teams undefeated, Oxnard and Buena 2-0, Pacifica and Rio Mesa 1-1, and Ventura and Channel Islands 0-2. Ventura seeking its first win of the season. Deadlocked here, Joe, with 2:55 remaining in the third. On 3rd and 4, it's Willis back to pass. He has an open receiver, and it is caught by Bryce Wynell. Wynell's second catch of the game, and they needed 4, picks up about 6, and it's a big first down.
Wow, moving the chains. Got a shot to get this into the fourth quarter even,
or if
at least.
Or if they strike here, maybe even before then. Ventura has not led by more than 3. They had a 3-0 lead and a 10-7 lead. The biggest lead for Buena was 7-3. It has been a close game throughout. It's Garza On the reverse, Garza inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line. Another Ventura first down, and that time Aiden Garza from the slot got the handoff and picked up 12 yards.
Wow. Ventura marching, another good drive from the Cougars.
And a wrinkle there. We haven't seen that play yet. We've seen Klein in motion quite a bit, but for Garza, yeah, it's true. On the other end, we've seen it a couple times with Morris.
12-yard run. Down to the 30.
2:10 remaining. Man in motion is Garza once again. This time it will be handed off to the tailback, and it's going to be a 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6. Conboy back in the game for the 4-yard gain.
Good job by Ventura to keep, you gain yards on 1st and 2nd down. You get yourself in 3rd and short situations. They've been really strong. Even though they came up empty on that 4th down situation, they've done really well in 3rd down situations, prolonged drives.
1:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Klein in motion, going from his left to his right. The handoff's up the middle to Conboy again, only a gain of 1. Might give him 2 as it was 2nd and 7. So a short gain, 2nd and 5 for Ventura. You have Garza along with Wynell and Rodriguez, their top receivers. Then we've seen a lot of Barlow and Conboy tonight, but the star skill position guy tonight has been Jaden Klein, the H-back. A big 3rd and 5 awaits the Cougars. You have to think you really want to block Alec Tafoya on that defensive tackle spot, as earlier in this drive he had 2 sacks before the roughing the punter. Pressure's coming from the left side. It's thrown deep in the end zone. Open, and it is a touchdown. The Ventura Cougars strike from 25 yards out, and a huge play on 3rd and 5. The defense was fooled, and it's a big catch for Rodriguez. So how about Rodriguez, the punter, gets the roughing the punter, takes the 15 yards, and then he's rewarded for it by scoring the 25-yard touchdown.
And now winless Ventura is 49 seconds from taking a lead in the 4th quarter at Buena.
Well, we said in our pregame this was a game that they were confident about. It was certainly one that the players had a lot of belief that not only can they win, but they will win. And now it is a 7-point lead, the largest of the game. And that, if they win, Zach Rodriguez is going to be somebody that will be celebrated in the locker room and well into the night and all weekend, in that, hey, you took one for the team on special teams and we rewarded you on offense.
One thing, interesting that they've been, on 3rd and shorts, they've been, dinking and dunking, and they took a shot there, and Buena blew a coverage, and Ventura was rewarded. I think that I got tipped off on Wednesday about what was going to happen here, because I was asking Coach Garcia who I should talk to after practice, and he gave me Jaden Klein, and Jaden Klein was talking about how they're putting in new stuff and giving Buena a new look, and I think he was trying to tell me he was going to be the offense tonight.
Yeah, he has been excellent tonight. And then Rodriguez, I believe his first reception, goes for the 25-yard touchdown.
He's been a big play guy. They haven't made very many big plays this year on offense, but the big plays they've made, a lot of them have been Zach Rodriguez, from the touchdown return against Pacifica last week.
They're finally kicking to Morris. He catches it at the 10, turns it up past the 20, now to the 30, past the 40. Morris crossing midfield, up to the 40, stays alive, 30, 25, 20, makes the man miss, inside the 10, to the 5. Devin Morris down to the 2-yard line. That is going to be an 88-yard return for Devin Morris, and that's why you don't kick to him.
Yeah, that's the moment you said they are going to try Willis this one. I said, that's smart.
Devin Morris, 88 yards, nearly went 90, and you almost feel like you might want to reward him here, but he's probably pretty spent after the 88-yard return. And how about turning the Jets right at the 50 and then making the man miss at the 25? That was why Devin Morris is such a weapon and why he's one of the best track stars in all of Ventura County.
What a tackle. What a great tackle by that Ventura kid to keep him out of the end zone. And who knows, we've seen Buena, make some penalties. Oh, look, they are bringing in Medina.
Yeah, Medina's in for now. Yeah, it almost might be, you don't want to use your timeout in the second half, especially 3rd quarter, but you could have understood it if you want to get Morris in. It is Powell Mathis, the running back. Medina will line up from the gun. It is 1st and goal at the 2. And we said, well, maybe it'll be tied going to the 3rd. We thought maybe 10-10. It might be tied 17-17.
Yeah, that's why I said they were 48 seconds away. They only needed, almost tied it in 13 seconds.
That was a special return, and we've seen here on the Game of the Week a lot of return touchdowns this year and a lot of teams kicking away from great returners, and we're starting to understand why.
What a game. Ventura Buena. It doesn't matter if they're 17-1 or 3-11.
It has been a special night here at Buena High School. The crowd is into it. We are on the Buena side, but there is a lot of black and gold on that other side. The stands are packed.
We're on the home side because there's no room on the visiting side.
I was thinking of trying to grab some food at halftime, and then I saw the lines and went, nope, I'm not going to be able to pull this off. So
what is happening? They are calling timeout.
Well, it does look like Buena will use their first timeout here of the second half. And Devin Morris had a 2-yard rushing touchdown earlier. You have to think that might happen again. Ventura Orthopedics is proud to support the collegiate and high school athletic teams in the community. The doctors serve as team physicians for most of the high school and college sports programs in the area. Whether assisting with game injuries or cheering for players from the sidelines, the doctors at Ventura Orthopedics consider it a privilege to be part of the team. Also, tonight's broadcast is a product of the Ventura County Star, your local leader in high school sports for the Ventura County area. To support this broadcast and all of the year-round sports coverage by the sports team at the Star, sign up for a print or digital subscription to the Ventura County Star. Visit subscribe.vcstar.com to see all of our special offers. 17-10. Buena knocking at the door after an 88-yard kick return from Devin Morris. And special teams have been a huge story here in the third quarter. It was Buena roughing the punter, giving Ventura life, and then on the other end, an 88-yard return, giving a 1st and goal from the 2. Medina remains the quarterback. Powell Mathis in at running back. 3 wide, along with the fullback. Medina hands it off to Powell Mathis. He is met in the backfield. It will be a loss of 2 yards. Maybe they'll just say a loss of 1. But the defensive line came up, and it was the big sophomore Chili Tanner with the tackle for loss. He beat the center and then just ripped through the running back for a good 1-yard loss. 14 seconds left in the third quarter.
Got all of a D lineman named Chili.
Chili.
Second down and goal.
Second and goal. To get the snap off, it is Powell Mathis scoring from 2 yards out, and that time it was great blocking up front. They made sure Chili Tanner was not going to get in the backfield on that play, and with 3.9 remaining in the third, we're an extra point away from having this deadlocked again.
Wow. Didn't take Buena long.
No. Special teams will help. You get 88 yards before your offense can take the field. It should be a short possession. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and Butterball's kick is through, and it is 17-all as Buena gets the 2-play, 2-yard drive to tie this game. And Joe, we have seen a gem from start to finish. No team is led by more than 7. We have had several lead changes. Just looking through here now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different lead changes in this game.
Sign of a good rivalry game.
That's the second 2-yard touchdown rush tonight from Buena. We had Morris earlier getting the direct snap, and this time it was the junior Bruce Powell Mathis. All locked up, 17 apiece. The Buena crowd with the band right directly to our right side, just a couple stairs down from where the press box sits. They have been loud and energetic throughout the evening. The Bulldogs searching for their 3rd Pacific View League win. They are currently 2-0 in league play. And for the Ventura Cougars, they are searching for the first win of the season. It's a short kick to the 25. Rodriguez has it. Rodriguez up past the 30 to the 33-yard line, and that will end the third quarter, and we will go to the fourth, tied 17 apiece. I do want to remind you tonight's game is sponsored by Ventura Orthopedics, with 20 doctors and 5 locations in Ventura County, all with one goal in mind, to get you back in the game. Ventura Orthopedics specializes in sports medicine, general orthopedics, pain management, pediatric, and MRI. Ventura Orthopedics offers exceptional therapy services featuring 26 highly skilled physical and occupational therapists. Learn more at venturaortho.com or call to schedule an appointment at 800-698-1280. That's 800-698-1280, or visit venturaortho.com. Also, make sure if you want to support the Ventura County Star, support this broadcast and all the year-round sports coverage from the sports team at the Star, sign up for a print or digital subscription to the Ventura County Star. Go to visit subscribe.vcstar.com. That's subscribe.vcstar.com to see all of our special offers. It's Kent Brown and Joe Curley on the call from Buena High School. The Bulldogs 17, the Ventura Cougars 17. This has been a heck of a rivalry game. It's been close throughout. We're heading into this fourth quarter. And, Joe, I'm not sure who has any advantage if there is one. I think this is basically going to be who makes more plays wins the game. But on the other hand, it has been big special teams plays, big passing plays. We've had some huge runs. Both teams have really brought a great game and great focus for the most part here tonight.
Yeah, you've had big emotional swings. You know, Ventura taking a lead, thinking they got a good shot to take a lead into the fourth quarter, and then Buena with the big play to get back into it. And
on 1st and 10, it's Willis rolling to his right. He had pressure coming, incomplete, as he intended for Bryce Wynell. And that time the defensive line showed pressure.
Yeah, you just wonder how many bullets are left in that gun for Ventura. How many more shots they got? Can they take the lead again?
They have shown every time Buena's had the lead tonight, Ventura has answered.
2nd down and 10.
No lead larger than 7 for either team all night. 2nd and 10. Trips formation to the wide side. It got there, but nearly corralled by the defense, as that time it was one of the Buena corners coming in and nearly making the play, Zach Babcock over there, the Sam hybrid linebacker safety. And instead it gets to Wynell, picks up 4, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, once again you're in a 3rd and manageable, which is what Ventura seems like they've been in all day.
3rd down and 6.
11-20. Ventura has had a penchant here tonight of long drives throughout this game. Limited possessions on both sides. Klein in motion. He has been their top offensive weapon, and now I think they had 2 men going in motion at the same time. The officials will look. It's either a false start or an illegal shift. Either way, it's going to back Ventura up to 3rd and 11. False start. So instead of 3rd and manageable, it's now 3rd and long.
Right.
Carson Willis, a junior quarterback for Ventura tonight, and very effective. He hit Zach Rodriguez on the big 25-yard touchdown to end their last possession. We'll have to see if maybe they go back to that matchup. Rodriguez is at the top of your screen. It's 4 wide. 1 back.
Ventura 6 of 10 on 3rd downs tonight.
Willis back to pass. Pressure coming there. Attempting a screen pass, and it is eaten up by David Duncan.
Wait.
Now the ball is going to go up to about the 25, so they fight for a couple more yards. And that was impressive just not to go down initially, but Duncan was all over that, made the play, and for the Buena defense, that was a heck of a possession. You get the 5-yard penalty, but seemingly they did a great job, read the offense, and then made sure they had the sure tackles.
That is Ventura's first 3 and out of the night, only the second 3 and out of the night. Actually, excuse me, their second 3 and out, only the second 3 and out of the game. They had the 3 and out after the fumble.
It'll be Rodriguez punting. This time they did not send the punt block. It is caught by Morris. Morris up past the 50. And how about not only does he catch the punt, but he is full go the second it gets to his hands.
Yeah.
Morris was ready.
It's an exciting player.
Some returners are a bit hesitant sometimes. Not Devin Morris, and nor should he be.
Yeah, I covered a game. Was it last year? A couple years ago, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Somebody who's been making plays on special teams for a couple years now for Buena, and certainly their big play guy. You know, really he's the guy their offense has revolved around tonight since they've done so much in the Wildcat too.
10 minutes remaining, 17-17. Medina at quarterback. Hands it off. Powell Mathis goes right up the middle for a big gain, all the way to the 31-yard line. A pickup of 16. They were already in Ventura territory after the good punt return, and now they are knocking on the door. They're a first down away from being up in the red zone.
And now we're going to see what Ventura's made of. What do they got left?
The Buena Bulldogs searching fourth consecutive victory, third straight in Pacific View League play as they try to remain up there at the top of the standings in the league. Powell Mathis goes right. A short gain up to the 28-yard line, so a 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7 with 9:28 remaining. And we talked all about these limited possessions. Now you reach the point in the game where any score dictates a ton, and possessions are really at a premium.
And you're talking about two teams that are primarily two-way players, so everyone's fatigued. You got the potential for mental and physical mistakes. This is interesting. You got Buena trying to kind of lean on Ventura here with the field position.
Medina hands it to Powell Mathis. He goes left, and it was a loss on the play, and Lansky makes the play again. Nick Lansky, for at least the third time tonight, has had a big tackle for loss. He has been very effective. Almost had an interception earlier as well. So the middle linebacker, the junior, and talking to Tim Garcia this week, he said the one unit he does really like on this defense more than any in terms of the most confidence is his linebacking core.
They got good linebackers. Barlow, you've got Jaden, who's a linebacker as well.
Klein, Maxwell plays a lot in that bandit position.
Yeah, that's where their talent is.
8:20 remaining, fourth quarter. Tied game. Medina back to pass, locks and loads, and it is going to be an interception from Ventura, making the play and coming up and rising to the occasion. Liam McGee on the pick, and that ball looked to flutter a little bit, did not get to the intended target, and McGee comes up, and Joe, you just said we'll find out what this Ventura team is made of. On that possession, it was McGee rising to the occasion and getting the pick as the ball was approaching the turf. So turnover, and now Ventura gets the ball back. Tied game with just over 8 minutes left.
I didn't think he caught it. I'm looking at the Anthony Weeder replay, bud. I'm looking at my phone because I was videoing. He caught it. Wow.
Yeah, that was impressive.
At the 24-yard line, first down and 10.
Time to tweet that out.
The ball is on the 24-yard line, and the way Ventura's had these long 5-6-minute possessions, if they can get one here and end with a score, they could feel really good about things. Liam McGee with the big interception. On first down, it's a short gain. It'll be 2nd and long. McGee is the junior cornerback for the Ventura Cougars. 7:50 remaining. Fourth quarter, Buena trying to hold off Ventura's first win of the season. The Cougars trying to spoil Buena's perfect league record. It'll be Rodriguez on the jet sweep, and the defense never allowed Rodriguez to turn up. And when you do that jet sweep, you're just waiting and waiting to cut it up. And this defense did a great job of extending and stretching wide and making the play. 3rd and long for the Cougars. You mentioned earlier how they've been over 50% on these third down conversions. Did not get their last one as they went 3 and out. Buena's trying to make it back-to-back possessions with a 3 and out. Carson Willis, the junior quarterback from the gun. Willis will roll to his right. Willis will set it up. He's going to wind now, and at the 50-yard line, returning the favor, the Buena Bulldogs get the interception. And the Buena Bulldogs, after giving up a turnover, now come back and get one on their end, and it is who else but Devin Morris.
It is everywhere.
Devin Morris has been a star tonight, and just as Ventura's defense rose to the occasion, Buena's defense steps up and does the same.
Well, it's not like a punt, but you push the basically it was like a 20-25 yard field position switch there, the back-to-back INTs.
On first down, Powell Mathis met behind the line for a 2-yard loss. Couple score updates. Oxnard now leading Rio Mesa 43-6. Also, we're starting to see some separation. Oaks Christian now ahead of St. Bonaventure 34-0.
They tend to do that in the second half.
Grace Brethren leading Thousand Oaks 37-0.
Yeah, the story there was St. Bonnie playing with them for a half because Oaks Christian's been cold-blooded this year. They've been just hammering people in the fourth quarter, just running stuff. Bakersfield Christian, they threw up 81. They scored on the last play against Newbury Park, throwing a touchdown pass. Oaks Christian has been straight up ruthless this year.
And then we are seeing there's a lot of these area games that we just mentioned where they're lopsided in the second half. Not here. A 17-17 game. It will be delay of game on the offense as Medina does not get the snap off. So you lose 2 yards on first down, tackle for loss, and now delay a game. You're all the way back to 2nd and 17. You have the ball at midfield. You're now at your own 43. So Ventura's defense, you have to think maybe you come through here and try to seek some pressure and put Medina on a quick decision. Powell Mathis is the lone back. 4 wide. Spread formation for the Bulldogs. That's going to be a backwards pass. That's a live football, and ultimately picking it up for the Buena Bulldogs all the way back to the zone 29. I believe that's Terry Johnson who went up and got the football.
Huge play to cover that.
It is going to be 3rd and forever for Buena. The ball's at their own 28, so they have to go 32 yards to get this. It will be 3rd and 32 for the Buena Bulldogs. They had a 2nd and goal from the 38 earlier, or 3rd and 38 in that situation.
You can't throw this play away because even if you're not going to get it, field position you got a shot. If you don't get some yards here, you got a shot to set up Ventura on a short field.
Absolutely.
That's the game.
Medina throwing a screen. Powell Mathis has it. He cuts up all the way near the 40, so they did get about 11 yards back, well short of the first down, but it does give a little bit of extra room for that punt with just 5 minutes remaining.
Now if you get a good punt, you back them up, and you can flip the field a little bit.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you're talking about one play, one field goal, is going to decide this game now that we're down to 5 minutes.
Both defenses hold firm. That's now 3 straight drives where the defense has held the offense out of scoring territory. It's going to be blocked.
Oh, wow.
He actually kicked it up right near a Ventura Cougar, and the Cougars take over inside the 30, a blocked punt, and taking over at the 28-yard line are the Cougars. And earlier, they were able to get one off through the defense. This time, Aguilar tries to poke it away, and it is blocked. And you mentioned Klein. He's been all over the field tonight. Jaden Klein gets the recovery, and the Cougars, 4:44 remaining, the best field position they've had all night.
What a play. The stories of this game, Devin Morris making plays, offense, defense, special teams, the fourth down stuff that's been happening with Buena. So much is happening in this game. And
in the second half, just special teams all over have been significant, whether it's blocked punts, roughing the punter, big kick returns. Both teams have done a lot of either damage or successful things on special teams. Garza's in motion. They will hand it off to Garza. It's a double reverse. Now they're looking for Wynell, the backup quarterback, to throw it. He instead will just throw it towards. There was an intended target. It did not get to the line of scrimmage, but nearby was Carson Willis, who was eligible for that play. They will say it was near enough to him that it's not grounding. I like the decision there because Wynell is a guy who they trust can throw the football, but that was excellent defense as nobody was open and a ton of pressure on the double reverse.
Yeah, I don't know. It's easy to second guess when it doesn't work because you're going for the throat there and you're playing, with you're playing fancy free here, trying to close this thing out as a winless team. But
yeah, that's when you save and you're waiting. If it's close, we might pull this out. On 2nd and 10, fakes it to Klein, and now we'll go to the left side. It is going to be incomplete, intended for Rodriguez. As you said, good breakup from the cornerback, and it will now be 3rd and 10. And with a good kicker in Rourke Riemann, if you can pick up even 5 or 6 here, I think you feel pretty good about the field goal. Riemann earlier drilled a 38-yarder. Yeah. Right now, though, you're looking at a 45-yarder, which is significantly further.
That's a real field goal now.
Yes.
Yeah, this is another situation like the last play with Buena where, I don't know if you don't even need the 10 to get the first down. If you can just get 5 and get into the middle of the field and make it an easy field goal for Riemann.
4:30 remaining. Tied game, 17 apiece. It's going to be a handoff up past the 20, inside the 20 to about the 17 or 18. It will be close to a first down. Will depend on the mark.
Was that Barlow? No, that was
Conboy, and
what a decision!
Our side judge looks to be a little bit inside the 18, so they will measure. And this is a big decision here, as it will be either 4th and inches or 1st and 10 from the red zone. I don't know. From our vantage point, it's definitely close. It will just be either a nose of a football short or just sneaking. We had one earlier that we thought wasn't a first down, and then it was given to Ventura. So
they're closer than we are.
Yes.
And my eyes aren't what they used to be.
Here we go. A big measurement. It was a really nice run by Conboy as he picked up close to 10 yards. It is going to be just short, and so it will be 4th and inches. Well, they're still, I guess, looking. So initially, the Buena defense started celebrating.
It's raining. And put the laptop away.
Starting to sprinkle here at Buena High School. The officials are still looking at this, so this is really close. But Buena's defense is celebrating as if to say, so it will be just short, 4th and inches.
Wow. Why don't you kick it?
They do have a very reliable kicker. 4th and inches, 3:56 remaining.
Going to talk it over. Smart.
And now Willis is going to go to the coaches. They will call a timeout here with 3:50 remaining, all locked up. And would you just kick here to go up 3, knowing you have a reliable kicker at the 35-yarder?
It's tough. It's a tough decision.
And we do know for Ventura, the one thing, probably the biggest concern going into tonight, was the offensive line. So this isn't necessarily the strength of the team to dominate, win up front, and get the yard. But on the other hand, the offense has played well enough tonight that I think there's a lot of faith that you can pick it up. The fact that they were measuring so long means it's not even inches. It's probably within an inch of a first down. Interesting decision upcoming here for Coach Tim Garcia and Ventura. 0-7 on the season, 0-2 in league play. Buena Bulldogs 3-4 on the season, 2-0 in Pacific View League play. The offense, they decide to go with the special teams, and they will bring out Rourke Riemann, a 35-yard attempt, 3:50 left. They put it on the boot of their junior place kicker. The holder is Bryce Weinell. Ventura attempting to take a lead and potentially be 350 away from their first win of the season. Snap back, hold down, and Riemann's kick is up, and it is through. A 35-yard field goal is made, and after thinking about it, Tim Garcia decides to take the points, trust the kicker, and Ventura, with 3:45 remaining, they lead 20-17.
Prudent decision. I mean, really, you want to be aggressive, you want to, but you've got a good kicker. You got a kicker that's nearly automatic for us. One of the best kickers in Ventura County. He's a record holder for Ventura High. You take the points, you put the pressure on Buena, who's supposed to win this game, and let your defense go out and make a play. Again, it hasn't worked out when they've taken the lead earlier. You get
right.
Maybe don't kick it to Devin Morris right here.
No, I think the last guy you want to touch the ball is number 5 on this play. If anyone else beats you, you can live with it. But the fact that Devin Morris, and look, they kind of have him cheating up all the way up to about the 23-yard line. So he's thinking, if you can kick it over my head, I'll try my best to get it. But one thing I won't let happen is a short kickoff and does not touch the ball.
3:45.
Morris lining up at the 25. Does look like Riemann intends to kick it short again. Little cat and mouse game, and now he kicks it way short to the 35. Morris has it. Devin Morris taking his time. Now he cuts up. Cody loses the football. Ventura says they have it. Morris loses it at the 40.
Oh, wow.
The Cougars potentially could have recovered. We will see
they
who comes
got it
up,
back.
and Buena
Wow.
gets it back. The Cougars were on top of it briefly, and Morris, for as special a night as he's had, that could have been a potential backbreaker, but Buena recovers, down 3 at the 40. Deep breath. Right now, if you're the Buena Bulldogs, a deep breath, and now you're 60 yards away from a potential win.
Devin owes a burger to whoever came up with that one.
Right.
Huge play,
Absolutely.
huge recovery. It's the little things in a game like this, you get that recovery. The game's over if Ventura recovers that.
All half special teams have been gigantic. On first down, it's incomplete.
Look at TJ Barlow selling out,
Yeah.
throwing his body.
Barlow seems, a little bit hobbled up as he's had quite the game, either at running back and linebacker.
Looked like he was going to dunk that.
Yes. Yeah. He came with a lot of, like a heat-seeking missile, and I'm almost surprised it got through him and even made it close to the receiver. I thought I was going to get knocked down. 2nd and 10.
What a game, Kent.
3:35 remaining, and we thought from the outset this could be one that goes down to the wire, and it absolutely has been a thriller here tonight at Buena High School. In motion is Morris. Morris gets the ball. Morris cuts up to the 40, stays alive, up near midfield, out of bounds at the 48-yard line. The coaches are pleading for a flag. I think that's the right call, though. It looked like the defensive player, I think it was Lansky, made the play inbounds and then carried him out. Either way, though, it's a nice gain by Morris, and it will be 3rd and 2 with 3.5 remaining. Morris is so quick in short spaces.
3rd and 2 now. Obviously 4-down territory.
And look who's
at this
coming
point.
out. So Medina comes out. This means Morris is going to be almost definitely the runner.
I would just stick, you just got to stick with him and drive this thing out. It depends how much time you
They have the formation with Powell, Mathis, and Aguilar lined up with him. Morris has it. Morris moving to the right. Morris, and a timeout is called. Actually, also in the backfield for Buena, they put in David Duncan as one of those backs, basically as a lead blocker if they would have had the play. And now Ventura kind of saw what they were going to run. It is a timeout called on the field with 3:27 remaining. Tonight's broadcast is a product of the Ventura County Star, your local leader in high school sports for the Ventura County area. To support this broadcast and all of the year-round sports coverage by the sports team at the Star, sign up for a print or digital subscription to the Ventura County Star. Visit subscribe.vcstar.com to see all of our special offers. Also, Ventura Orthopedics has one goal: to get you back in the game. Doctors are well-versed in the special orthopedics needs of both the amateur and professional athlete. Many of their physicians currently serve as team doctors for most of the area high schools and community colleges. 20 doctors, 26 physical therapists, all with an athlete's best health performance in mind. Visit VenturaOrtho.com today or call to schedule an appointment at 800-698-1280. That's 800-698-1280 or VenturaOrtho.com. Kent Brown, Joe Curley here from Buena High School. Rivalry game cross town here in Ventura. On 3rd and 2, it's Morris going to his right. Morris cuts up past midfield, has the first down, out of bounds at the 45, a gain of 7 yards. And I think that was pretty well played defense. It was just a better offensive player making the play when he had to. He was able to stay alive, turn upfield, and get the 7 yards.
I mean, at this point, I'm sure Coach Bolin is just going to put the game in the hands of his best player on the field, Devin Morris, and let him make these decisions. Ventura's had a rough time kind of handling him no matter what phase of the game it's been, and you got plenty of time to run this thing down. It's 3:20 left, and he just got out of bounds. Yeah,
very similar to the end of the second quarter when Buena trailed by 3 and Butterbaugh made a field goal at zeros. Down 3 again. It is Morris, and Morris is tackled by who else but Jaden Klein. Klein has been all over the field tonight, made another play, and with 3 minutes left, that's only going to be a gain of 1. It will be 2nd and 9. Clock continues to go. Ventura up 3 with 3 minutes left. This has been quite the game, and now the Buena Bulldogs, 9 yards away from a first down in plus territory. Is it Morris time again? Medina remains on the sideline. You have to think it's probably a lot of number 5 here for the next few plays.
Yeah, you got to go. Got to dance with the guy who brung you.
And they continue to go with the formation. Aguilar in the backfield. It will be Morris who keeps it.
Great play.
Nothing doing again, no gain. And who else? It was TJ Barlow. Barlow makes the play, and it's now 3rd and 9.
How is this team 0-7? You know that they haven't been this healthy.
Right.
They haven't been this together all year to put a game together like this. I mean, Buena just went out and beat up Rio Mesa. Right. You know, they won a bunch of games, and this is what a story.
It's been quite the effort. Can they find a way for 2 more minutes to hold on? 3rd and 9. Morris again, even in a passing down, they will keep Morris in. He loses a yard back to the original line of scrimmage where the sticks are, and it will be 4th and 10. And now it's a big decision. Does Medina come in? He's still on the sideline, so it appears that it will be Morris. No, they're talking to Medina. It looks like Owen Medina will come in on 4th down. And if Morris comes out, it's one thing if he's not running, but I feel like you want to keep him in at receiver, although he is pretty banged up.
He's been hit the last 3 plays.
Yes, that is very true.
I can't criticize
of course.
Bolin because this is what I would have done,
right.
You know, and you just got to compliment Ventura for their defense.
4th and 10. Medina from near midfield. He's throwing deep. It is incomplete, and Ventura will take over with 1:08 remaining. And that time they went for the home run. Incomplete, turnover on downs, and now you're 68 seconds away from celebrating the victory. And Joe, you said it from the top of our broadcast. It doesn't matter what the records are. Ventura, the last 11 years, if Buena comes in with a win, Ventura, 8 of those times have left with the win. And these are kids all week that have been confident, and now they are 68 seconds away from getting their first win of the season.
Just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. How many times? 2 timeouts left?
Yeah.
That's might be it, Kent.
Yeah, it's
2 timeouts left. You're
in dire straits.
You can at least bring it all the way down.
Carson Willis, junior quarterback. They are going to line up victory formation. Now a timeout called by Tim Garcia. Trying to see if there's only 2 or 1 left for the Buena Bulldogs. I believe there's 2 remaining. The Buena Bulldogs, this would be a tough one if you are Buena. As you said, you got the big win last week.
In this series,
of course. But last week you get that win. You're emotional. You're at that high. And then you're trying to build something, get your 3rd league win, stay undefeated in the Pacific View League. You fall in this game, and now you have to say, we had chances tonight. You look at the special teams plays, the blocked punt.
And they responded well.
Yes.
You know, they went down and jumped back up and went and responded well. And, you know, really, you knew it was kind of, for this rivalry game, as close as it could ever be to a trap game. Just because, I'm telling you, if you watch 7 games of film of Ventura, they never look like this the entire year.
Right.
It's a total, not a totally different team, but all the pieces are finally together, and they've put together a unique game plan. They've, put something together specifically for this game, because that's what this game means to both these teams. And you just got to feel sick for Buena, to be in this position.
There's still 68 seconds to go. Will be 3 wide. Going to hand it off inside to Conboy. Conboy gets 8 yards, and we've seen him fight a lot in the second half. We know TJ Barlow has been all over the field on both sides. It is a timeout called by Buena, so that took 9 seconds off the clock. 58.6 remaining. Buena 3-4 on the season, 2-0 in league play. Ventura 0-7, 0-2, searching for its first win. And you mentioned talking to Klein earlier this week, knowing the fact that he might be more a part of this game plan, and he has rose to the occasion. But the defense, I think if you told Coach Garcia tonight, you're going to hold Buena to 17, he'll take his chances that the offense can rise up and get it done. This Ventura defense, specifically that D-line of Garza, Tanner, Musel, Carrera, Guerra, those guys have been playmakers all night. And then offensively, they've been efficient. They haven't made too many mistakes. You had the 1 interception, but outside of that, there's been some rough snaps, but this has been a pretty efficient game, and Willis, for the most part, has been safe with the football and made good plays.
Yeah, those have been the only negative plays, the fumbled snaps.
We have a little bit of raindrops falling on us.
I'm getting reports from East County that it's raining really hard that storm that drenched people and got games postponed in Orange County is coming up. So we're going to have to run to our cars because the sky's going to open up soon.
58 seconds remaining. Going to hand it off. Conboy again. He fights for the first down and has the first down, and that should ice this game as Ventura gets the 2.5 yards needed, picks up the first, and now it can be victory formation for the Cougars, and it is time to celebrate. The black and gold on the other side. You have the flag with the V there. They are excited. A crosstown rival, Buena Bulldogs, look to be 53 seconds away from suffering their first league defeat. And for Ventura, what a win this is shaping up to be. All the chips on the table. We said game plan difference, execution, defensively rising to the occasion. And from the start, this was a team, too. They didn't score a touchdown on their first drive, but they set the tone by moving the ball down the field, getting a field goal, and at least showing we're going to be physical tonight, and we're going to be here from start to finish. And they've never wavered. They trailed 7-3. They came right back, took a 10-7 lead. You look at it. They trailed 17-10. They came back. So this has been a Ventura team tonight that's always made plays when they've needed to, and we have had a heck of a game here tonight on the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Star.
This is
53 seconds left. Victory formation for the Ventura Cougars. Under center is Willis. And there's a couple people in the crowd now. Streaking, and there's flags on the field. So that's not going to be good for anybody.
No, it's tradition. Tradition in this rivalry.
They keep running. They're trying to get all the way out.
Now is the difficult part.
Can you leave? Can you escape the stadium? And it is wide open out there.
That was set up.
46 seconds remaining.
Anthony, you turn the camera off on that?
No. Our producer, Anthony Placencia, up there. He's great at what he does, but he was not able to see that one coming. One more victory formation, quarterback knee away from celebration.
It's cold.
The Ventura Cougars
cold day to do that.
On their way to their first victory of the season. And it will be a knee, and that is going to do it. The Ventura Cougars get the first win of the season. Tim Garcia and his team put together a great game plan, and they've executed, getting the lead early, holding on to it, and then finding ways to win. It started with the foot of Riemann, 3-0 lead on first possession, and it ends on the foot of Riemann with a 35-yard field goal, and that ended up being the game winner. Rourke Riemann got the field goal with 3:45 left. The defense held, and Ventura gets the first win of the year. Buena falls to 3-5. Joe, your closing thoughts on this game?
I've been doing this about 20 years. I mean, this is just to be 0-7 and then to knock off your rival in this situation. I mean, it's stunning. You know, there's not too many games that stun me anymore, and it's just a stunning result for the Ventura High Cougars. It just shows you. I mean, I was on a couple high school football teams that came close to not winning a game this season. I know what that feels like, and to fight and get this moment. There's a guy doing the worm on the 10-yard line. That's what it's like to be the Cougars right now.
Yeah, we have a lot of. He's back to doing it. So I think Anthony's gonna maybe get the image of that as a Ventura fan celebrates. And we do want to thank our producer Anthony Placencia, Kent Brown, and Joe Curley. We also want to thank Billy Griffin for showing up in the second quarter. This has been the Ventura Orthopedics Game of the Week from the Ventura County Star. Signing off from Buena High School. Final score: Ventura 20, Buena 17.
Take on the Yellow Jackets of Oxnard High. Hope to see you all out there. Have an excellent evening and drive safe.